Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear students, in another lesson. Our unit 6, inshallah, we will continue the unit with two lessons, inshallah, today. 9 and 10. Today we will cover the reading and the project. Okay? If we want to recall what we covered in our previous lesson, we covered about you. We asked questions related to you and you answered based on your life. Okay? Also, we had the listening between Faris and Adil. We had this conversation. We asked each other questions related to this conversation and we answered the questions related to the conversation. Okay? Inshallah, today, by the end of our lesson, okay, you will be able to read and answer questions. Read and answer questions related to the reading. So you will have reading and you will answer questions related to it. You will be able to write about a town or a city in your country or the world. So you will have, think about a city around Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. You will think about a city, choose it, and you will write about it, okay? So before we start, I want you to look at your books, page 64 and 65. Look at the pictures, okay? You have different pictures. You saw the fountain, the big fountain. Where do you think these pictures are? Which city is it? Excellent, Jeddah. This is the famous fountain, King Fahd fountain. And we have different places we can see only in Jeddah. So basically the reading will be about Jeddah. Have you ever been to Jeddah? Yes, you did. If you haven't, think about going there. There are many lovely things you can see there in Jeddah. There are many old places, new places, different malls, restaurants, and the most exquisite place is the sea, the Red Sea, okay? Look at these questions. Try to ask each other these questions with your friend. Before we start, let's gather our information about Jeddah. What do you think of Jeddah famous for? What is it famous for? We said that it's famous for many things like the Red Sea. Yes, what else? Restaurants. Excellent. How would you describe the city? Would you? Why do you think people go there? Why do you think people go to Jeddah? What makes Jeddah a special city? Excellent. One of you said the diversity. There are many different places, the new modern places and the old places in Jeddah. So it's combined diversity of cultures, diversity of people there. You can, based on what do you want, you can, based on what do you want to do during the day, you can see, and you can do anything. You can go skydiving, you can go to amusement parks, you can go shopping, anything you like, okay? What aspects do you think make Jeddah a great place to live in? We mentioned some of these together, okay? We have on your book, page 64, we have these two questions. Before reading, which cities in the Middle East do you think have the best quality of life? Think, which cities? Dubai, Riyadh, Abha. So I'm hearing a lot of cities. So the answer, there is no right or wrong answer. The answer should be based on your opinion. Each one of us has his or her opinion. What do you base your opinion on? When we say, I think Jeddah is the best city, okay, and I stop talking, are you convinced? No. When you give your opinion, you have to support your opinion with examples, with ideas. So it will make your writing or your opinion stronger, okay? You have to support it. I think we talked about the topic before in our previous lesson. We talked about the topic sentence and the supporting sentences. It's similar to this. You can't give your opinion, you have to support it with examples and ideas, okay? So let's look at the reading. We have, in our reading, we have many paragraphs. We'll take it one by one, okay? The pride of the Red Sea, Arus al-Bahr al-Ahmar. This is the title, this is what we call Jeddah. And we have many paragraphs. We'll take it one by one. Let's hear the audio together.
For 12 consecutive years, Jeddah has been named a global city by the GAWC for offering a high quality of life to its citizens. So what makes Jeddah a global city and one of the best places to live in the Middle East? Residents and visitors point out several aspects relating to everyday life, such as the city's cultural diversity, modern architecture and engineering, rich cultural heritage, and high quality of education.
Okay. We heard the audio. We heard the reading based on the first paragraph. What do you think the reading is about? We said the title, The Pride of the Red Sea. What do you think it's about? It's about Jeddah. Excellent. So where do you think the topic sentence is? For every reading, for every writing, we have a topic sentence, a main idea. Can you find it? Usually we find it in the first paragraph. Can you find it here? Excellent. The topic sentence usually is the first sentence, okay? So we will highlight it here, okay, together. So for 12 consecutive years, Jeddah has been named a global city by GWA, offering high quality of life to its citizens. So what makes Jeddah a global city and one of the best places to live in the Middle East? This is the topic sentence. This is what basically our writing is about, okay? And here you can see some words in blue. I thought we have to go through the meaning together, and we have some words underlined. The underlined words, it's related to the exercise on page 65. It's related to the exercise. We will do it together, but I underlined it here so you can do it with me, okay? So point out, what does here? Residents and visitors point out several aspects. When someone point out something, what does it mean? Point out when you tell someone information. When you highlight information, when you give information, you point it out. You tell the information. Diversity, what does diversity mean here? Diversity here, the state of having a lot of different cultures. Diversity, as we said, Jeddah has many different cultures, diversity. And we have rich. What does rich mean here? Containing a lot of something good. Rich, that's mean it is rich, it's with positive aspects, okay? Cultural heritage, what does it mean? When we're saying Jeddah, there is a rich cultural heritage, we mean the buildings, the customs, languages, etc. We're talking about the good qualities of Jeddah, okay? The second paragraph, let's hear it together.
Jeddah is a leading destination for international students and travelers. It has several public and private universities that provide a very high standard of academics. Jeddah is also the gateway to the holy city of Makkah and hosts millions of pilgrims from around the world on their way to Hajj every year.
Okay, here they said Jeddah is also the gateway. When the pilgrims are coming to perform Hajj or Umrah, they stop in Jeddah, so it's the gateway, okay, for the pilgrims, okay? So here we also have pilgrims is one of the words. Pilgrims are when you are performing Hajj, we call the people who are performing Hajj pilgrims. These are the words gateway and entrance, or an important means of access. This is what we said about Jeddah. Pilgrim, a person who travels to a holy place. When you are going to perform Hajj, we call these people pilgrims. Let's see the third paragraph together.
Jeddah has been an example of modern architectural and engineering innovation since the 1980s. One of the city's major landmarks is King Fahd's Fountain, the highest fountain in the world. It jets water as high as 312 meters, 1024 feet, and can be seen from nearly everywhere in the city. Other landmarks include the NCB Tower, the IDB Tower, and the Jeddah Municipality Tower. There are also plans to build the 1,000-meter high Kingdom Tower, which, when completed, will be the world's tallest building.
Okay, here they mentioned some of the most important qualities, which is the Jeddah Fountain and some of the towels we have in Jeddah. Let's see the fourth one, read it together.
During the 1980s, many works of art were introduced into Jeddah's public areas, making it one of the largest open-air galleries in the world. Modern sculptures, ranging from abstract works to traditional coffee pots and airplanes, decorate the pedestrian streets and roundabouts of the city. There are also a number of museums and galleries to visit. Beit Nassif in Al-Balad was once home to the wealthy merchant family who hosted King Abdulaziz ibn Saud in 1925. Today, it houses a historic museum and heritage exhibits.
Okay, here they talked about many aspects. They started to talk about the old one, ranging from abstract works to traditional coffee pots. What does abstract mean? Expressing idea by using colors, lines, and shapes without realistic pictures. So an abstract, it's not a real picture, it's just lines, and you express your idea with colors, lines, and shapes, okay? Let's hear this paragraph together.
The historic center of Al-Balad is a charming blend of traditional houses and modern glass skyscrapers, and its huge marketplace features a combination of traditional souks and designer boutiques. Today, huge efforts are being made to preserve its historical architecture.
Okay, here they talked about the Al-Balad. It's the most famous place in Jeddah. They use this adjective to describe Al-Balad, a charming blend, very attractive or pleasant. What does this word mean? Okay, let's see this paragraph.
The city is also famous for its recreation. It is home to many famous football and athletic clubs. A light breeze cools the coast in the Corniche area, where visitors can eat at the many restaurants, relax by the beach, and have fun at the amusement park. And the beautiful coral reefs of the Red Sea are popular with scuba divers. There's always something interesting to do in Jeddah, the bride of the Red Sea.
Okay, they talked about the old things. Now here they started to talk about the good things you can see and you do around Corniche, okay? Now let's look at the exercise after reading, okay? Choose the meaning of the underlined words that best fits the reading context. So you should choose the meaning based on the context, based on the sentence. You have to read the whole sentence and then choose the proper meaning of the word, okay? For 12 consecutive years, in line 1, we underlined it together. What do you think it means? Does it mean recent, an unbroken series, or next to, or future? What does consecutive years? Excellent. B, an unbroken series. What does this word mean? I think before we do it together, I will give you a few minutes. You can pause the video to think about it, discuss it with your friend, read the passage with your friends, and then try to choose the best meaning. After you finish, we can do it together now, okay? Let's do number 2. Point out several aspects. We talked about aspects. Line 6, what does aspects mean? Ideas, ways, or features? Point out several aspects. Excellent. It means features. Here, it means features. Number 3, a leading destination. A leading destination, does it mean popular, winning, or most important? Popular. Excellent. A. Number 4, it houses a historic museum. They're talking about Beit Nassif. Now it houses a historic museum in line 39. Visits or holds or protects. Excellent. Holds. 5, a combination of traditional souks. A combination here, what does this word mean? A mixture, a series of things joined. Excellent. It's a mixture. What does these words mean, okay, from the reading. Exercise B, mark which of the following things visitors can do in Jeddah according to the article. So these answers should be based on the article, okay? You should read it again and then answer these questions based on the reading, okay? The first one, you can meet people from different cultures. Did they say that in the reading? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So we will put a tick next to it. Number 2, you can study at university. Did they mention that in the text? Yes, they did. So you will put a tick. Number 3, you can visit the world's tallest fountain. They mentioned the fountain. Did they do that? Did they mention it? Yes, they did. Number 4, you can see modern sculptures at Beit Nasif. Did they mention that? No, they didn't. You can go shopping in Al-Balad. Did they mention that? Yes, they did. So put a tick next to the things we read and we saw in the text. You can visit the Kingdom Tower. Did they say that? La, they didn't. They said they will build it in the future, okay? They didn't mention that in the text, okay? For this discussion, what city would you like to live in and why? Think about the cities. Ask each other. Do you have a city, if you are living, for example, in Abha, would you live in Jeddah or live in Riyadh or Dammam or Tabuk? Will you live in a different place? Yes or no? Tell me why. Tell your friend, discuss it, talk to your friends about it, okay? For your project, you have to work in groups. You will not work alone, you will work with your friends, okay? Select a town or a city in your country or in the world. So it's related to the discussion question. Do you remember the discussion question? We talked about your cities and which city you want to live in. It's related to it, okay? You have to perform that discussion, your ideas into writing, okay? Present its features, the main points of the city, the highlights of the city to the class in a way and say why you chose it. You have to tell me reason. You didn't tell me I want to live in Abha or I want to live in Riyadh. You have to give me reasons, okay, to make it stronger, okay? This is an example. If you, for example, chose Jeddah, you don't tell me I want to live in Jeddah. La. You have to give me examples. You have to talk about the facilities, for example. You have to talk about the heritage you can see in Jeddah. You can talk about education. You can talk about hospitals. You can choose many themes, as many as you can, okay? And then from that, you can expand to make your ideas, give examples. Facilities, you can talk about malls, restaurants, amusement parks, etc. Heritage, you can talk about the things, the heritage. We said Al-Balad. You can mention Beit Nasif, other things, okay? This is also, you can do it as a map, like what we see, or you can do it as a table. It's up to you, okay? Facilities, lots of malls, events, coffee shops, and restaurants. You can say Ritzy, it's one of the highlights. Education, you can say many colleges and universities, grade schools. So you have to give examples and support, okay? For your health, you can say many public or private hospitals, healthcare centers, and gyms around everywhere. Not only in Jeddah, you can choose any city. And these information, I didn't get it. I used the internet. I searched the information. I talked to my friend. You have to do it as a group. You have to gather the information together, okay? Heritage, many traditional places like Al-Balad and other things, okay? Now, for your homework, I want you to do workbook, page 127. Also, you have to do your project, similar to what we saw here. You have to do something similar. This is your homework. And also, you have to present it to your class next. You can take a vote which one is the best city to live in, okay? So what did we cover in our lesson today? We read and answered questions related to our text about Jeddah. Also, we talked about the project. We learned how to do the project. We do it as a group. We chose the best city, and we have to support our ideas, give examples to support it, okay? Thank you for listening. That's it for today, and inshallah, I will see you next class.